Now for the next melee weapon, the chainsaw. It's one of those weapons which you can only get at a specific fight. This one, to be exact. Right.
You go get it down!
Alright, so immediately I had to do the enemy testing, since he was already up in arms on me. so the process of this weapon is going to be reversed.
And stay dead.
So that's me testing it on Jack Baker. He's the only enemy you could test it on. So now let's actually look at the weapon. Alrighty, so chainsaw. A mid-sized chainsaw for shaping wood. It has aged quite a bit and smells, but it still works. Alright, so here's me testing it out, if you couldn't see it then. And then here's aiming and shooting it. Alrighty, so then normally I would have tested it, but I already did that process. So, I'm pretty sure it takes longer in higher difficulties. I mean, I'm in normal mode, so that wasn't that bad. This is like the 4th time now since I've had this game that I've fought him this way, and honestly, there were a couple of times where it took way longer than it just did. Maybe because I just didn't know what I was doing. But that fight went pretty fast, if you ask me. I just hit the right areas. Alright, it's probably because I damaged him prior to getting the chainsaw. You have to damage him a little bit in order to get the chainsaw, I think. Or, I don't know if you can unlock this gate other than him actually prying it open. I feel like, though, there was a point where he tried to attack me, and then he ended up hitting it with the shovel, and it broke apart the gate anyway. I'm not too sure about that. But anyway, there's the chainsaw for you guys, and that's the only way it can be used. Now for the next melee weapon, the Crowbar. Now this is a weapon I can't get into much detail about because you can only get it in this fight in the game. And a quick note, in order to access this fight, unfortunately, you have to choose Zoe as your choice when choosing between Mia and Zoe for the injection of the serum. So, it's the only time you get this Crowbar, and it can only be used on Mia here. So, let's go ahead and test it out real quick. Trying not to get myself killed while doing so. Alright, so there's the 2 different ways you can use it, whether you're aiming or not. Now let's test it on Mia, the only way it can be tested. Crap. Alright, punch her with it. And here's the final blow. Bam!
I'll kill that bitch.
Alright, so that is the crowbar. That's really all there is to it.
Why?
There's no other way to use it.
Why?
Now for the last melee weapon, the circular saw. A standard circular saw can be used as a weapon. Doi. Alright, so here's the thing about the circular saw. This is also the first unlockable weapon I'm featuring. And the circular saw is obtained by beating the game under 4 hours, which in my opinion is not that hard. My second playthrough of this game happened to do that, because this is what I was going for in order to get this weapon review to you guys faster, so that's what I had to do. But anyway, that is the requirement to unlock the circular saw, beat the game under 4 hours, and then it will be in the item box when you come across the first one in the game. Now this weapon is pretty interesting. It's unlimited because it's a melee weapon, and it is insanely helpful against those molded. You just have to get up close and personal with it. That's the only drawback to it. Other than that, it is a pretty nice weapon, and it saves you a lot of ammo. This is the reason I was able to stockpile all that ammo in this item box. So let's go ahead and test it out. Alrighty, just your average blade saw, or whatever, sawmill. So, I'm gonna test this on the perfect enemy for it, the molded of course. But, normally I always go for the head with this thing, because it actually defeats them pretty fast if you're careful. But, of course, we're gonna go for a chest hit, so I can't really determine the amount of hits per se since it's constant. So, I'll just determine how long it takes, how about that? It's the best I could do for you guys. Well, silly me, I forgot the fact that there's two different animations with this. So, the first one where I'm just slashing away, we'll see how many slashes it takes. As for just having it on, that's what I will use to determine how long it takes. But first with the slashing motion. How many slashes is this gonna take? Alright, so only 5 slashes with the circular saw to take down a molded. And part of it maybe because I took out its arms, but still, only 5. So, as you can see right there, pretty nice weapon to use against them. Just make sure you're blocking when they attack you, and you'll survive. Alright, so now I'm going to test the constant motion on it. Alright, so I'm gonna say that took approximately 3 seconds of constant motion to take down the molded when simply using it like this. So either way, whether you slash at him with it or you do this motion, it's gonna go down pretty fast. But of course, it will go down even faster if you aim for the head. It's just a little riskier because there's a lot less to hit. Well, that is all I have for the circular saw, and that's gonna conclude all melee weaponry, but it's not going to conclude the non-firearms. Now for the last non-firearm weapon, and the only handheld explosive, the remote bomb. And check out the craftsmanship of this. It's obviously a custom-made, custom-built weapon, and I wonder if someone actually looked at this. Could you build one in real life using what these things look like, or is this fictional? Alrighty. So the remote bomb, a bomb that can be detonated by remote control. Press X, in terms of the Xbox, to detonate it. Okay, not much of a description there, but whatever. So the remote bomb, I guess you could say, returns from Resident Evil 6. But this one looks way different than the one in Resident Evil 6. Anyway, let's go ahead and test it out. Alright, better step back. Alright. Pretty decent explosion there was right there. And I could pick it back up after placing it. Let's find a wider area. I'm gonna explode some of these all at once. Alright, witness this. Woo! That was awesome, and I still have 7 of them left. So this is gonna be great. These remote bombs are designed for the molded specifically. I'm pretty sure of it, because you get a bunch of them when you go through the ship sequence with Mia. So, let's go ahead and test it out on the molded. Alrighty, so that was kind of expected. It only took one of these remote bombs to defeat one of these things, if they're right over it. Now, if you prematurely detonate it, or you detonate it too late, or they're not close enough, it's possible it won't defeat them in one hit. I'm gonna test that theory real quick for you guys. Alright, so kind of expected, if they're not right on top of it, and only slightly near it, they will survive one blast at least. But I guess 2 will do them in. Hopefully the farthest blast radius that affects them should only take 2 of them. I'm not too sure myself. I didn't use these things a lot in my playthroughs, actually. I just headshotted my way through them all. I should have used them more often now that I'm seeing this. But anyway, I'm not done using the remote bomb. There's actually a secret animation you can do with this remote bomb. I guess if you get grabbed by a molded, you could actually shove one into its mouth. I'm gonna find out. Oh, yeah! Alright, so yeah, it's true. If you get grappled by the mold... Oh. Okay. That scared me for a second with that sound coming out of nowhere. But that's awesome. I just got a... I just got a rare achievement. Anyway, so yeah, that's true. When you get grappled by a molded, you could shove it in its mouth. Only if you press the trigger, though. Only if you press the trigger. So, otherwise, I think I would have been eaten alive by that thing. Alrighty then. Well, I think that will conclude me using the remote bomb. So, it's used as a defensive item in some sort of way. Yet another throwback to the remake of Resident Evil. Well, that concludes the remote bomb, and that is it for all non-firearms.